All right, Maya, it's looking like a top two for the second week in a row. Just as you come off the course here, just what is your overall takeaway from this Wilshire experience?
Just been really good practice and patience. I'm really proud of the way I've played. I feel like I've hit a lot of good shots, and I feel like my nerves kind of took over for a little while, but I was always able to get back to the my normal state of mind. So that's been just great.
When did you start to feel those nerves on the final day?
Well, this final day, I was mostly just in the beginning of the day. I was telling myself to just go for it and not hold back, but it's easier said than done. But yeah, I didn't feel like I was as bad today as yesterday in the front nine, but still some work to do.
What do you kind of take out of the last two tournaments? Obviously, you've put yourself in contention to win. What's your biggest takeaway?
It's probably just to stay patient. Like, there's so much you can mess up, but if you just move forward from that, I think I've struggled before and I've just been so hung up on, I made a double, now my chances are gone. But that's really not the case. And just learning through experience too, that I can turn it around pretty quick.
You were certainly applying some pressure and making birdies, but it seemed like every time you made a birdie, Hannah responded and made one as well. What was that sort of like out there?
I didn't see much of what she was doing. I just heard a big roar when I was on 17, and that was the eagle, I think. Yeah. So, there's not much you can do about that, but I didn't want to make it too easy for her. So.
Just kind of your last 6 holes in particular, to be able to kind of turn it on, coming down the closing stretch. What was going through your mind with those finishing holes?
Well, I just kind of thought, screw it. Now is not the time to hold back anymore, and I think that just made me swing it a little bit more freely. I don't think I had to think as much on the putts. I've been some technique stuff has been occupying my mind, especially with the putting. So now I was just focusing on the hole, and it obviously works well. So I'm going to try to keep doing that.
When you say screw it, is it screw it to maybe the game plan you set earlier, or is it just try to be aggressive as possible?
No, we stick to game plan, but the aggressiveness so sometimes when I stand over the ball, I hesitate, and then I obviously don't hit very good shots because it's impossible. So when I say screw it, that just kind of relieves myself of the pressure, and I just tell myself I don't care where this goes. Obviously I do care, but it's just something clicks in my brain to just pretend like I don't care.
Seems like the putter has been red hot this week. Was there any kind of changes you made? I know you were just talking about the technique that's kind of been in the back of your mind. Were there any changes with the putter that you've made in the last couple of either the last couple of weeks or coming out of Chevron?
Not really. Started getting a new way of visualizing the putts, so I think that's helped for sure. But not really anything in particular.
How much did you try to just keep that momentum going from Chevron in the last couple of weeks with everything that you've been? Was there ever any pressure to keep that momentum going?
No, not really. Maybe a little bit from back home. Just there was a lot of talk about the Olympics in media, and I feel like people all of a sudden start saying that, I hadn't seen them talking much about the Olympics before Chevron, but then all of a sudden it feels like people were saying that I was basically in it, which is really not the case. There's a long way left. So it's just been that, but I've just been trying to tell myself that if I focus on that, that's never going to work, because all I can control is my own behaviors, and to make it into the Olympics, it depends so much on what other people do. So I've just been trying to put that far back in my mind.
When you are playing the way that you're playing, do goals like that start to take shape in your mind, or what do you do to kind of keep it focused on one shot at a time?
Well, I just kind of let those thoughts come and then get back to what I'm supposed to do, because I feel like if I try to push it away. It's just going to keep coming back. But if I have the thought, I just let it come, and then it's going to go away. And then I just, move on and do what I know I need to.
When do we see you next?
Founders? Yes.
What will you do in this off week? Is it putting the clubs down for a bit? I feel like you're at a pace with your game right now that it's kind of maybe hard to step away.
No, I have no problems chilling out. Gosh, you should have seen me. I barely practiced this week because I was so tired. Like I've been nauseous and tired all week, but obviously not when I step onto the golf course. And I'm absolutely fine. But I have just not been feeling like doing anything this week. So.
All right, so a good off week.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you, Maja.
Thanks.
Perfect.